Hey guys, Clumsy here. Welcome back to Clumsy Trucking. Very different schedule today, 1 day early. I'll share more later, but I did announce it yesterday. Very late announcement as usual. Thank you for joining. Let me try and catch up with chat. Thank you guys for being early birds and for your flexibility. Glad you guys could make it. Who do we have in chat? I see first Blah. Yar. Glad you made it here as well. And happy to see you progressing in Satisfactory. I'll be needing your help next week. Hey Emil. Delta Boy. Knots, how are you guys doing? NL, glad you made it. Speaking of NL, I'm missing NL graphics mod. No relation except the name. How is everyone? You guys can hear me, right? Yeah, should be. Glad you made it, Tom. Yes, I did announce it a bit late. 1 day announcement, but should be good. Seeing as you guys are all here. Hey, Bri. Thanks for joining. Welcome back, Yar, Jack, and Alex. You might hate that I bring it up, but happy birthday, Alex. Glad I remembered that one. Hey, Patrick. Glad you made it here too. Now, what could be a perfect gift? I think you got the gift already from Jack's stream. With his amazing voice. There you go. Hey, Arianus. Glad you made it. How's the flying been? How's the passenger situation right now? Hey, Magic. From Naples. Nice. No worries at all. Thanks, Google, as well. With the translations. Hey, Jay. Good morning. Thank you. Glad you guys are here. Looks like we are a full house. And why didn't I get a notification about that? Hey, Lost. Welcome to the channel and thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Was definitely not flexible with cold. Yikes. You mean cold weather, right? You don't have a cold. That's good. 2 a.m. there, bri. Yikes. Can't hear you. Well, thanks for staying up late. Yeah, I usually don't tag everyone just to save. Maybe you guys can give me your opinion on that one. When I make announcements, do you prefer I tag everyone or are you okay as is? Because I try to not tag everyone as much as I can. Some people hate that. But I can adjust depending on what most of the people would prefer. Go ahead and load up ETS2 going for Europe today. I jumped the gun. We are now in 138 and let me share a bit about the mods I have at the moment. Maybe I hide these for now. You're going to sleep? Yeah, very late in Italy. Thank you for dropping by, Magic. Sorry my face is hidden, but at least you can still hear me, hopefully. Have a good night. Sure thing. I will upload it to YouTube tomorrow. Thanks, Lost. Yes. Okay. So, I think I'm caught up with chat. Here we are. Here are the mods. Nothing really fancy except for the Actros. The Actros MP5. You will see we have two options in here. Actually, there are three. There is a version now. So I'll share more details of my first impressions, but right now we are in version 1.2. We have three variants of it. One is for 137 version. The other two are for 138. And the other two, one of them uses Kriechbaum sounds and one of them uses EVR sounds, because both of these amazing sound modders release their own versions of the Actros engine sounds. But for now, we start it off with Kriechbaum sounds, and then maybe later we can switch off, so we can switch to EVRs. We'll see which one we like better. Alright? In terms of graphic mods, I have Europe Reskin at the top in terms of textures. Below that are Project Next Gen Photorealistic Experience textures. These are the old ones. There's an update 0.7 for early access users, but I was emailing Damian yesterday. He has not replied yet. I think he's very busy, so I have not gotten the new version yet, unfortunately. But it's still good, so no worries there. It works with 138, so that's the important thing, right? Everything else is the same. Don't think I have anything new. Couple of incompatible mods because we switched versions. I think the truck AI pack don't work either. These ones by Traffic Maniac, I don't think they do, because there's been a bit of difference with the file structure. I even had to change this one on my own. So TGM, the YouTuber, released a mod to unlock the advanced debug camera stuff. That's not compatible anymore as is. You have to change the file extension, but I can share more details on that later. Anyway, that's it for now. Right, let's go and bring back my face and the chat. There you go, that works. Right, load it up. Notified role they can get from reacting. I do like that. I just don't know how to implement it. I remember asking about that before, but I think someone said that it was more complicated to implement. I'm not sure. If anyone knows how to do that, let me know, and I'll happily do it. Because I do see that in some Discord servers, like in some official developer servers. I'd like to implement something similar, like you only get notified if you are into trucking, into flight sims and stuff like that. Thanks, Blah. That will be great. Sorry, I think I missed Freddy. Thanks for joining, man. Appreciate it. Sorry if I missed anybody. I'll try to catch up. So that's how the truck looks. Give you a fair warning, it is the heaviest truck in terms of frame rate that I've ever played. Let me show you the numbers. If we open the mini console here in the upper left you see the triangle count. Let me show you how the default New Actros looks like. If I can find it, that one. Yeah, very nice looking, very sleek. It has 766,000 triangles. Okay, take note of the 766,000, so less than 1 million. Load up the new Actros, the MP5 from, what is the name of their group? Actros 5 team, I think, something like that. They have a whopping 20.9 million triangles in this truck. So I actually had to lower my graphical settings. You know, I used the NVIDIA Profile Inspector tweaks. I was using 4X. I had to go down to 4XS, something lower. Why is my face so dark? Let's open the window a bit like that. There you go. So yeah, it's like driving 20 trucks in one. So it is even heavier than Frank Peru's. So if you drive it and you can't load it, it hangs, it might be a system limitation. You might have to set some launch parameters to allow that heavy truck. It is a mod truck, yes indeed. Yeah, so we'll have to live with some frame drops, and that will grow just heavier when you go inside here. Look at that, 33 million triangles inside. It is a looker, it looks great, but it is a frame hog. So you would need a NASA supercomputer, and not really. You get the exaggeration. So fair warning to anyone who wants to try it. I mean, it is a warning that is already in the thread. So they try to warn everybody as much as possible about the frame implications of it. I don't think there is any other mod about that yet. Any areas for Iberia that have been released yet. So I think we'll have to skip on that first. So for now, we drive on the existing areas. Mash truck. Use this truck for less than 5 minutes, your game crash. Hey Geek Squad. Yeah, you'll need to set some special launch parameters, the same ones that you set if you tried NL or some of the heavier mods. There is a recommendation in the forum thread. Exclamation point mods gets you there. So you have to set it up depending on how much RAM you have. I'm not sure if that's VRAM or system memory really. Where do you guys want to go? Lithuania? I can go with that. Go cheese, 18 tons. That might be a nice drive. We are in the default map, by the way. No map mods because we are in 138. Hey Dav. Thank you for joining. Personal limit on mapping. Hey AK. Sorry, I missed some messages, guys. Hope I can catch up. Less than 5 million for mapping, and here we have 20 million just for a truck. Actually 33 million because we stay mostly in the interior. So yeah, it is a heavy one. And you have mirrors and everything. So as early as now, I'm already getting frame drops. It will not be a smooth ride, unfortunately, but hopefully it will be a looker. If you can run Flight Factor 320 on 60, you can run MP5 without bigger problem. Something along those lines. Let's try out the new adaptive automatic economy mode. It's not new, but the implementation has been improved supposedly. So we'll see if that works. Very nice computer dashboard here, and the speedometer isn't offset anymore. Let's hear it. It should be working. Beautiful headlights. Kriechbaum sounds fully working in 138. I like those roof lamps. That comes specifically with the truck. First time I've seen that. I think. How do you make them open though? Maybe only in high beams they will open. There you go. Had a lot of crashes. Keep a fire extinguisher ready. Yes, that's going to be a fair advice. Wipers. Looks like we have invisible wipers as well. And the windows aren't working yet. Like the water droplets are moving, but the window itself is not. So still work in progress. Very good so far. Hey Rohan, glad you made it, man. How's it going? Does anyone know what those lines are in the side mirror cam? Those 3 yellow lines above and the blue yellow line below that? I'm sure they must be a marker for something, because that's also there in the right side. So pay close attention to the sounds, because later we'll try and switch to EVR's version. Check if the speed gauge works properly. Yes, speed looks good, unlike the other MP5, but you notice that flicker. The mirror cam is still not perfect. Like in some angles it stops like there. So still not perfect, has to be tweaked still. What I like about it is that the developers are very active. The mod authors are very active. They've released 2 updates in 2 days, something along those lines. Blinkers aren't blinking in the dashboard, but you can hear them. heated windows. Let me see if I can catch up to chat. I'm sure I missed some messages. Yeah, invisible wipers. Yeah, we can think it's more on the lines of heated wipers, evaporating away the droplets. Go cheese, let's do that. Hey hipster, yes, 138 beta, glad you made it. This truck does not work very well in 137. Well, now it does. It uses default Actros sounds now in 137 if you download that version. So they did add that feature now, because in the early release, the initial release of this truck, it doesn't have proper sounds in 137, because originally it used Kriechbaum sounds, which are only compatible with 138. So even though the truck itself will load in 137, you won't get any sounds. Well, you'll get some exhaust sounds, but they won't qualify as proper truck sounds. This is nice, the mirror cam. I like it. Much easier, I don't have to look behind actually. Oh, that is nice. Although I think I overdid it. But it still works, there you go. The parking brake sound seems to get cut at some points. There. I'm not sure if that's intentional. Like at the last millisecond it gets cut off. Going to buy Tourist Bus Sim, enjoy. You'll spend hours on it. It's going to be a fun game. And yes, that's a good choice. I saw the discussions you had in Discord. I would recommend that more as well, rather than Fernbus. More things to do. More worth the money in my opinion. Seems to be a better angle for the wheel. Although if you look at the edges of the dashboard, it seems like there's like a reflection there, a misalignment. Hopefully we don't notice that too much later. Hey Ed. Thanks for joining. Welcome back. Yeah, very nice graphics, definitely. Right, let's follow the route. Actually, you know what? I think I'll try an alternate. That's a bit weird. Why can I not use that route? There you go. So that we at least explore some other new roads. Maybe take on the longer routes. And my browser died. Yeah, it looks like it's really a heavy duty truck. My system is getting stressed, so it might be that the chat actually froze out. Is that a Game of Thrones reference? 3080, yes, hopefully. Is it on sale, Tourist Bus Sim? We can try and go through there instead. Go through that point. That can work. Bit of a different vibe. And then here, go through on the side like this. Yes. And I unlock more roads in the process. Needs more optimization. I think they just released a beta update again a couple of days ago, maybe just yesterday. Let me open the window a bit so we get a louder volume. Also, you can hear the gear changing. Looks like that's really how an Actros gear sounds like. Gear change sounds like. Because I remember hearing that from EVR's version, and a couple of people were complaining why it sounded so weird. Apparently that's how it really sounds like. Oh, that's beautiful sounds. That is much better. Buses feel good with Fanatec here. Wow, fancy. New update of the accelerator, shifter, and brake pedal. Accelerator, shifter, and brake pedal. Let's go and test that. That's a good point. Thanks for highlighting it. Yeah, I hate that mirror cam flickering, which is very apparent if you're using track IR and looking around like that. Let's see. I'll have to turn off track IR so I can look down better. There you go. Well, you can't see the pedal, can you? I don't notice the changes. Where should I be looking? Not sure. Hey Tesla, welcome back. Too bad TBS isn't MP. Yeah, that would have been a very good game for MP, huh? Working on the same company, doing different routes, meeting on the road. Yard bus. They updated the truck 6 hours ago. Hey Lucy. If they updated it 6 hours ago, and then yes, I should have gotten it. Version 1.2, right? That's what I have right now. Because I downloaded this 2 hours ago. Or 3 hours ago. It is not as bad though in the frame rate, depending on your system. If your system can handle it. For me, yeah, my GPU is maxing out 97% here. But we'll make it work somehow. Saw that in a video. This truck. Yeah, I was planning on making a video on this, but the initial version was not that good yet. Now though, it's much better. Now I can drive with it. I hope they continue fixing the mirror cam though. This is an Actros MP5. I think that's the unofficial name. Less flicker in stock trees than mod trees you found. Well, I think I'm using modded trees here in terms of textures. So we can see how that looks. Oh, come on, detour already as early as now? Let's close the windows. I think it's not fit for highway driving. Now, where will the route take us? Well, the route is not adjusting, strangely enough. There we go. So let's see. If we are going through there anyway, might as well go through here. Yeah, a bit of country road driving. Let's do that. Sounds so good, Kriechbaum quality, definitely. Yes, the blinkers. I'm sure that should be showing. Hopefully they can continue working on it. Detours are too often spawned. Actually, that's a good point. I'm not sure what my settings are currently. Detours should be halfway there. No, detours actually have lowered almost all the way down. Random road events let me lower to around half. That should work. Yes. Behind the mod wall. Doesn't work anymore? Nice. Thanks Jay for fine-tuning that. Let's take a photo here. 5K on a complete trucking setup. 5K USD? Wow. What does complete trucking setup mean? What does that include? Sounds amazing. This looks amazing. Turn your dithers all the way off. Yes, that is the normal reaction. A lot of people do that, and understandably so. Let's take that photo. Let's take a shot with the clouds in it. Beautiful next-gen clouds. Release of Pro mods. No news here. I just know that it's in progress. I think the next version will be 2.5, but don't quote me on that. Where will I be going? Here, okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Ah, one sec. Because this is a different profile. Sorry for the rough ride. My keys are a bit different. I changed this a while back. That engine brake should be toggle now instead of a hold button. So the engine brake didn't kick in properly. Beautiful sounds. Especially under the bridge. Stats. Oh, that's new? Nice. Cool stuff. Thank you. Yeah. Pro mods always playing catch up. Well, that's the same with every modder out there, but especially nowadays with 137 and 138 right behind each other. Everyone was surprised when they announced 138 beta. Oh my goodness, this is a nice view. I'm glad we took this. Detours sometimes are very nice. It ruins your plan, but sometimes the best events come from unintended consequences. Not this one though. I think I'm going to hit that railing. There you go. Have a good night, Emil. Thanks for being here. Catch you next time, man. Why is my truck not wanting to shift up? What's with the side mirror? This is the MP5, so it uses mirror cam technology. So the mirror outside is just a camera, and this one is a screen. Very interesting technology. This is a mod backlight. Welcome to the stream. Exclamation point mods. Gets you the full list. You can look under the trucks section. This should be in the bottom of that. Scania Touring DLC better or the Comfort class? Which one is the Comfort? Ah, yes. Tourist bus stuff. You can try the base first, although I guess, yeah, you want to catch up with the sales, huh? Let's take another photo here while the trucks in front of us are slowing down. Apple might not put a charger in headphones. Yeah, they say it's like an eco-friendly decision or something. Good excuse. I think Samsung is thinking of doing the same. It's going to be a trend, but I'm sure people will let them get away with it. I wish at the very least it is optional. Like, if you want to help the environment, then you can opt out of a charger, but you are fully entitled to get it. So the eco-friendly, the more eco-conscious people will decide not to get a charger if they care about the environment, if they have a charger anyway. Cameras are really bad when it's raining or it's night. Oh really? That's too bad. The concept is good, but maybe the implementation is still a bit raw, huh? Well, hopefully it will improve with the future releases. This truck has the glass bug. Which one is that, Alex? I think there is the weather command already, Jay. Oh, that's why you're editing it, okay. But I think that should work already. You have to enter the city. I remember implementing that because I saw it from one of the streamers who was streaming Flight Sim, and I wanted something similar. If you look at this truck in external view, the glass is extremely bright as you look through. Ah, the glass itself is super shiny? Is that what you mean? Or something else? Try !weather space Singapore if that still works. That used to work before. Invisible wipers, yes indeed. Didn't even, oh, they were still on. Apparently the wipers were still on. That doesn't work anymore. Whoops. Look through the windscreen in the door windows. Here? Or from external? Maybe if they would use a single charger jack. Yeah. Well, USB Type-C seems to be a promising standard, but for sure Apple won't go with that. The view through the glass is brightly lit, as in the grass behind. Ah, I see what you mean. Yeah, there. Yes. So if you look at the bales through the glass, yeah, it looks like a magnifying thing. Interesting. Oh yeah, I see it now that you mention it. Is that also present in other trucks? I see what you mean now, Lucy and Alex. Thanks. Hey, cool. Glad you made it. There we go. I can catch up with chat now. Let's turn on the lights. Project Next Gen lighting is so natural. I love it. Very different philosophy from JBX, but both of them are amazing in their own way. Just depends on which you like better. You've seen that bug in other mod trucks. I think it's what to say, a glass material parameter. There is a certain parameter in the glass material that you set. I'm not sure which one it is. Specular diffusion or something along those lines. If you set it wrong, or if you assign it the wrong color, then it maybe it's like negative, so instead of darkening it's lightening, something like that. It's, I guess, similar to that bug we see, which I hate more, when you're in the interior and everything is super bright. That's when the windshield is colored, what is the color? White instead of the gray one. Some internal stuff. Oh, this is a very nice route. I'm glad we went through here. Can't believe this is default map. This looks like a modded area with how detailed it is. Just really shows you how much SES is stepping up in their mapping game. They're not so scared of the object limit anymore. They're willing to go a bit beyond, stepping it up. Hey Minecraft lover, welcome to the stream. Hope you are a trucking lover as well. Opacity malfunction, there you go. $25 for the game and DLC. Nice, good deal. In Europe, you voted for a single universal charging solution. So in 3 years, never. I didn't quite get the the end of the sentence, if it was sarcasm or a real thing. Sorry. Is there an RPM meter? I don't think it's updated yet, huh? I think the computer dashboard is not fully animated yet. That might be a work in progress thing. The speed updates the digital speed, but the circular, the analog speedometer doesn't change, nor does the revs. Have a good day, Lost. Sure thing, man. Thanks for hanging out. Sorry I missed that, if you're still here. Apple, they have USB-C on their iPads but not on their phones. Do they? Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'm not up to date anymore with anything that happens on the Apple universe. I have let go of it quite back. Is this a new truck? This is a modded truck, so unfortunately you'll have to download the mod for it. Not part of the default. See the truck from the outside. One sec. Look at this. It's a bit dark because of the lighting. There you go. Isn't that sleek? Hey PDX, glad you made it here. JPX on 138, yes, same here. Climate, there you go, that's working. So is that defaulted to Singapore, or you can specify a parameter for it? Alright Bri, have a good day, catch you later. This is one of the biggest complaints in Project Next Gen skies weather. Sometimes you get it a bit too dark like this. That's because the sky, I think, is too bright. So if you look below, it normalizes. But because the sky is too bright, when you look at the sky, everything else goes darker because of that exposure adjustment thing. So I think the solution there is to simply lower the brightness of the sky, something along those lines, so that the sky and the surroundings are more balanced. I hope in the newer Project Next Gen version that has been adjusted a bit so that the difference in exposure isn't too drastic. Just did a run on 138 with PNG. Not a fan on the night. What did he change on it? Well, even before, the night skies weren't that good yet. Look at this clouds from the back there, from the mirror cam. Nice. Thanks, Jay. Looks like it doesn't work sometimes. Maybe there's a countdown, a cooldown. I mean, I'm speeding. Sorry about that. Nightbot spam. Blame Jay. Overlay for my stream. Oh, was he asking about the one on the lower left? Yes. I don't see it on my screen. It's only for the stream. It's only for you guys. Yeah, it's just too dark. Oh, you mean at night? I see. Maybe also the night skies are too bright. That's why the exposure adjusts to be lower. I'm still using the old Project Next Gen. I still haven't gotten the files from him. How did you get your new copy? So I emailed him and he hasn't replied yet. Sorry, has anyone answered what these lines are for? I might have missed it. The 3 or 6 green ones and 1 blue one. What's new in 138 beta? Beats me. The only reason I went to 138 beta in ETS2 is so I could use the map mods. The sound mods from Kriechbaum in EVR. Otherwise, I would have stayed in 137. He emailed the links. You got lucky. He was still... Maybe you were one of the first ones who contacted him. I think he's swamped right now. Has not sent me the links yet. No, it's not new aliasing, it's SSAO. There is no new anti-aliasing feature, which is why I am disappointed. This is SSAO. It's like improved shading option, so better shading on the objects and surroundings. But I'm not really using that. I'm actually using NVIDIA Profile Inspector. I'm overriding that functionality. Yeah, it is very confusing. There you go. Thanks, Alex. Bad heat wave in Chicago. I heard the same from Alex and Rohan. So looks like the eastern side of the US has gotten it pretty hot. 40 degrees Celsius, yikes. And it's not even the peak of summer, it's only starting, right? I heard in Germany it's very good weather. I think they had like, what, 22 last week? And Blah was saying a while ago that the weather is good as well over there in Canada. Nice. XJ, if I remember. Oh, that's nice lighting. Very subtle, very natural. Blue marker shows where your tractor rear is. The others are a visual of trailer height. So should I adjust the mirrors so they correspond to that? So the blue one should be pointing at the rear of the tractor. Might have gotten that wrong. Okay. Central part of the US is getting hit bad with a heat wave. Yikes. Stay safe, guys. Lucky in Seattle, it's only 23. 23 is good weather. Nice. So the cab itself, I see. The rear of the... Okay, so this looks correct. That the blue one is corresponding to the back of the truck itself. The cab only. And rear axle, I see. And the ones above are pointing to the trailer, which looks good as well. Oh, nice. Okay, I like it. So that looks correct. Thanks, Jack. System would catch fire. Yeah, I had to lower my NVIDIA Profile Inspector tweaks. That's why you see a bit more you see a bit more jagged edges on the roads. It's not as nice looking. And still, I'm getting frame drops. I cannot overtake this guy. Our speeds are almost too close together. So instead, I'll let him go. I'll just slow down. What time is it? 21:40. I'm trying to read through this. Looks like I have... Fuel is in the lower left. I'm on the 11th gear. AdBlue is in the lower right, that bar, I'm guessing. Now I'm on 80 kilometers per hour, but I'm sticking to 11th gear. I don't like that. I thought they would have changed that. But maybe it depends on your differential ratio and the last gear ratio kind of thing. They're expensive for you. Yeah, it's unfortunate. There's a Steam sale right now, so now is the best time to buy it. Hey Tyrone, welcome back. It's been a while. Glad to see you here. If you do the NPIA tweaks, you cannot use the in-game SSAO. That is true, yes. So the SSAO will not be as good. There will still be something there. It won't be as shady. I've done some more detailed tests on this on the RowX forum, the RowX thread. I think I also linked it in the Truck Sim channel in the Discord server at one point. But yeah, you won't get that pure SSAO goodness. So you either have great anti-aliasing but less good SSAO, or you get very good SSAO but sucky anti-aliasing. There's no best of both worlds at the moment. Green ones are 3 different trailer heights. Could be 13, 14, 15. Ah, nice. Is that feet? Just a quick reference so you can check before low bridges. Ah, cool. That's very helpful. Thanks. Hey MS, thanks for joining. Glad you made it. What time is it there right now? Channel point rewards and challenges. Any recommendations? Time out one user for 5 minutes. I have a GTX 1070 Lucy. 6 a.m. there. No worries. Wow. Woke up very early to make it, and you made it to the stream. Thanks. It's 8:49 here in the morning. Feet or meters depending. Ban Rohan. Yeah, if you guys have suggestions on what to use the channel points for, let me know. For those who are not familiar, channel points are something you earn as you stay in the channel, as you watch. You accumulate it, and sometimes there are bonus points that appear. Right now, I think you can claim it for some stuff like highlighting your message, unlocking an emote, modifying an emote, things like that. But there might be more options that we can use now. Phew, almost missed my turn. This is the only reason. A squished craft Veco. Oh yeah. Not sure we can still call it a craft Veco though. With release from Kriechbaum. Iveco Highway and Iveco Stralis sounds. They've become great contenders. I used the Iveco Highway for quite some time. Hey, thanks BDX. Wow, goodness. A patron and a sub. You guys are killing it. Thank you. GG. It is still pixelated, Ed. Yeah, it's a 138 problem. They have not fixed it yet. I am seeing those pixelations even from here. I don't like it. It's not a deal breaker so much for me, but I don't like it. Unsub. Low deck. That's the way. Yeah, that's positive thinking. I think my mirror over there is not perfectly aligned with the lines, but that's fine. Much more noticeable on vertical surfaces too. Oh yeah, that's true. And like when you're shining the light straight on the wall, it becomes more apparent. No sound mod can improve the abomination that is the Iveco. I thought that way too, but yeah, I'm a believer now. Thanks to Kriechbaum. Let's go and sleep here. Get some better lighting. Also, I don't have any real company mods anymore, unfortunately. The one from Shumi isn't compatible with 138 yet. That's the best real companies mod I've seen. Hey Tuesday. How have you been? Welcome back. Combined Engines mod, RIP. That's the one from Rabbinicus, right? No longer public. The Nihao Real Companies mod still works. Oh yeah, I should have tried that. I have that in my files, I think. That's in the Steam Workshop, right? I think we can enable that maybe after this trip, so we're sure that it won't reset anything. Is that guy waiting for me? A real fuel station mod. Oh yes, I enabled those two last time. Before I used Shumi's, I was using those two. And I think, was it Scan who told me that they actually... Yeah, there is a Pro Mods version for it. For the gas stations, I think. Because apparently it conflicts with some Pro Mod specific assets. Something like this. Someone was stealing his mods. Yeah, I didn't know the real story behind it. I knew that was around those lines, but I'm not sure. Yeah, you see the offset, like 1 or 2 pixels off. You see that top of the dashboard having that extra. Also the one below here on the map, that white thing, I think that's a little bit of misalignment. Nothing game breaking, but it could be an improvement area for the future. Lovely sounds. There we go. And yeah, the mirror cam, definitely. If I were to have a wish list for this truck, number 1 would be the optimization. Not sure how much they can do there because they used a 3D model from a modeler, I guess. So they will probably have a limited capacity to improve on it in terms of performance. So we might have to just live with that kind of performance limitation, performance impact on frames. But at least the mirror cam, I hope, would be fixed like that. Not sure if it can though. It might be a game limitation. Because normally the side mirrors would be there. So maybe it really stops rendering at some point. Like at this point when the mirrors should not be visible anymore, then it stops rendering. But in our case, because it's a mirror cam and the views are offset, it still displays. So I'm not sure if that can be adjusted in the mod, or if that's hardwired or hard-coded in the game. You had to sell 8 trucks because of the removal of the combined engines mod. I discovered a console command recently. It helped me avoid the crashes with trucks. You know how the mods always change, how mods don't get updated, so through time you get these accessories, these parts that are not compatible or not existing anymore. Normally they would crash the game as soon as you access the truck, but using this G_remove missing accessories, remove_missing_accessories 1, and then reload your game. So save it first, set that parameter to 1, load it, and it will remove all the missing parts from your trucks. So I think your truck will have holes in it maybe, but hopefully it shouldn't crash the game anymore. and then set it to 0 after you load it. That helped me a bit, because I think I was modifying the MANTGX, which had old parts in it, and it was crashing the game for me. But after doing that and loading the truck again, it worked fine. The magic wipers. Oh yes. Yeah, that would be a nice improvement too. Do we have lights on? No, we don't. It's quite nice though, having a fully digital truck like this. All screens and stuff. Very different vibe. Very different vibe from XPS's trucks, for example. Project Next Gen, but the older version. Not the 0.71 yet, because I don't have it yet. Yeah, I'm a bit salty because Damian has not replied to me. He must be busy. I think actually this is nice because we have such a humongous GPS screen right there. Actually zoom out like this and we'll still be able to see stuff. That's cool. Salty Damian. Actros MP5. Brand new. Released only a couple of days ago and updated as like 6 hours ago to version 1.2. Try the Tesla Next just for Alex as a birthday gift. Oh my goodness, that sounds like a good idea. Let's take a photo here. By the way, what did you do for your birthday, Alex? Anything special? An unwashed one for Rohan. And an Iveco for Jack. Perfect birthday gifts. I'll note those down. Hey Zoc. Welcome. For your birthday, you went to work. Oh, how industrious. Goodness. Model employee right there. How are you doing? Man, I love these guys from Project Next Gen. So natural. Merc is one of your favorite brands and this looks awesome. Only behind the Volvo, right? Yeah, great to see you like it. Speaking of Volvo, I saw that the RPIE Volvo FH has been updated for 138, I think. I think it's Payware. Maybe it's not Payware because if it's still in the SCS forums, it shouldn't be Payware. Yeah, here you see the problem with Project Next Gen. It's too dark here. Like if you look down, that's bright. That's too dark because the sky is too bright. I wish you could lock exposure like in your phone camera app. You could choose an exposure, lock it, and then look for an angle. Yeah, hope you had a great day, Alex. I thought it was going to be tomorrow for you. Missed it by a day. Next year I'll be right on the day itself. Low deck chassis. There is a low deck chassis variant for this truck. Oh yeah! That guy would not give way. There is a low deck chassis variant for this truck, but I was too scared to use it. Because the truck itself is it has a couple of options. Actually, that's a good idea. Maybe we can go and check out a bit of the truck config options after this trip, or when we go through a city, because this trip will not be finished in the near future. There is a low deck option in there, but I was too scared to try it. I rather stuck with the default ones because with low deck it's always a risk. If the modder is not very familiar with the physics, with the proper options, then it could easily lead to the truck smudging into the ground too often. I think we've had that a couple of times with certain mods. So normally I would only trust a low deck variant if it came from Sogard 3. He's the low deck master. So I'm waiting for him to release a low deck variant for this, or if he is consulted or part of this mod, then I would be confident enough to try the low deck. I remember I think an earlier version of the MP4 from Alexandru Andre, I think his name is. Yeah, we were smudging, we were really digging into the ground with the low deck variant. Hey Zoc, thanks for subscribing, man. That appreciate it. And not even a Twitch Prime sub. GG. There we go. Amazing stuff. Thank you. And thank you for the follow. Welcome to the channel and feel free to join us in chat so we can greet you by name. Very nice graphics here. Sometimes I forget that I am in a default map. The default map has improved leaps and bounds. Also the retexturing from both the Europe reskin and from Project Next Gen have improved the visuals a lot, so you don't even notice that you're in an old area anymore. Like if you go to Belgium, if you go to Austria, it won't look as bad. They've done a great job at that. My pleasure. Thank you for the sub, and glad to see that you are able to relax a bit. Hey Games Arma, thank you for following. Appreciate it. Exactly. Yes, that's a good point, PDX. That's why I am going past Poland. Poland does look amazing with Project Next Gen. I'm still a bit confused though, because I read from the Europe reskin from Mirfi. Mirfi is the guy behind the Romania map mod. I think he's also part of the Pro Mods team, the one who does Romania there. So he's a very seasoned modder. And he made the Europe reskin very lightweight, very efficient, but very effective. Europe reskin basically, you know how those old textures look like from the older areas of ETS2? He replaced those textures using the newer textures from the DLCs. So it's like a reuse of SCS textures, updating those old ones into new ones. And it's very lightweight, only a few MB. It works even in 138 without any other addition. And he is saying that he likes to use it along with Project Next Gen. That's why I was confident enough to use both of them together. So he says he uses Project Next Gen below and then his retexturing above. So I'm not sure how that kicks in. Like for this one, I'm sure that's Project Next Gen road lines. You see those like small dots? That's a Project Next Gen trademark. But like the road itself, I'm not sure if that comes from Project Next Gen or Europe reskin. The going east area, so Poland, I think is part of the textures that he updated. You'll get it right eventually, Rowan. Yeah, I also use both and I'm not sure how to distinguish which is which. I just like what I'm seeing, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, exactly my problem, PDX. Exactly my problem. But I guess it's a good problem to have. If you can't distinguish between the mods, then that's actually a good thing, because that means the entire thing is cohesive looking. Everything just blends together and nothing is standing out. We are now in Poland. Looks like we're in an older area of Poland, seeing how much that highway just bends violently. Not very highway friendly. With the German reworks areas, they've learned from that already. And the bends in the Autobahn are very realistic now. TBS, there you go. Yes. I think it doesn't require as much space as Fernbus as well, so that's one more advantage. Oh yeah, that's true. Hey bot. Glad you made it. Welcome back. Yeah. July 2020, so should be any day now. Also, I'm not yet sure. Complete disclosure, I don't have anything from SCS yet. I'm not sure if I will get any. I might be in their blacklist now because I'm criticizing some of their anti-aliasing or lack thereof. But yeah, we'll see. If I suddenly grow quiet about it, then you will know. But right now I don't have anything. Hey AK, goodness, sub train. Thank you for subbing. Appreciate it. And hope you are enjoying your stay here. They say more visual improvements are coming. I don't think that's for 138 though, would it? I doubt it will make it in there at this late stage in the beta. Thanks, man. Appreciate the kind words. Glad it's glad it's worth something. Hey Deso, welcome to the stream. It's a mod. You can download it. It's free. Be careful though, it is very frame heavy. It will require a NASA supercomputer, as I like to say. It's a brand new truck. It's a completely different truck from the default New Actros. So it's the new Actros. That might be a good stream title, new video title when I upload this to YouTube. But I actually like it, so now I can share my first impressions. So who was it who announced it? Was it Audi? Sorry, I forgot who it was, but someone in the Discord server told me about this. Someone released an MP5 and I was a bit skeptical initially because my first encounter with the MP5 was with the Turkish developer, forgot his name, which was very promising. If you remember that MP5, it had a very nice look. It was a bit heavy on the frames also, not this heavy though, but it had a couple of, I would say, game-breaking bugs. Like the speedometer was offset, so you can't see your speeds at all in that version from that Turkish developer, Turkish mod author. But I was hoping that there would be some bug fixes coming shortly after. And I don't think it ever came though. I was waiting for an update and it never came. So I just eventually got rid of the mod because I wouldn't play long term with those kinds of bugs. So it was very promising in the beginning, but it fell short afterwards with no updates. So I was not very optimistic with this truck, with this new one from the Actros 5 team. But I gave it a go anyway. And yeah, from the get-go I was not happy because when I looked at the triangle count, I almost fell off my chair. 20 million versus less than 1 million from SCS. So that was definitely a huge minus in my books. And then I saw these minor bugs, like with the mirrors, with the sounds. When I tried it, I was still in 137, and they said it's compatible with 137. And then I didn't get any sounds because when I looked in the console, it was referring to Kriechbaum sounds. Apparently they were using Kriechbaum sounds and you had to have it downloaded. And the Kriechbaum sounds only was compatible with 138. So you won't get any sounds in 137 at all. So that was another minus in my books. So I didn't like it initially. And I even deleted the file. Like I was not happy with it at all. Like for this kind of frame rate loss and these kinds of bugs, I would not be driving it at all. Was that a truck dealer? So yeah, I got rid of it and I was not planning on playing with it at all. But thankfully, it is the opposite of the initial Turkish developers. This one started buggy in my books, but they have been updating it non-stop, listening to feedback and updating it as they go. And so now even with the frame rate, it still has a frame hog. Now it has better mirrors, still a bit lagging but better. It is working in 138 fully. They are now transparent as to which mod it uses for the sounds, things like that. Now they even made a compatible version for 137 itself, so I like those kinds of things. And now they added some parameters, so in case your game crashes, you can work around it by adding some launch parameters. So the support has been great. The updates have been flowing constantly, so it's a very promising truck. And so I decided, okay, fine, I'll tone down my settings just so I can drive this truck. I think it's going to be worth it. It is. Very different experience. Despite the bugs, I'm very happy with it and looking forward to more updates in the future. I hope they don't stop improving it. It seems that in 138 you have to actually drive into the truck dealers to discover them. That's a good point. I think I read that in 138 beta, the blog post, that you have to rediscover the truck dealers again. Is that right? So everything is question mark again and you have to discover them, but I didn't know that you had to drive inside. It's nice. That's a good point though. That's a good thing to raise because that's one of the major changes in 138. They improved the truck dealerships, especially the bigger ones. They look so cool now. When I was in Luxembourg, when I bought this truck, there is a Volvo dealer right next to it, right next to the garage, and it looked so good. Yeah, definitely agree, MS. Much more polished than the Turkish one, and it's getting a lot more updates, so I'll be keeping a close eye on this. Crash your game for a few Scania showrooms. Oh, interesting. Could there be a... What do you say? Could there be a mod conflict? Maybe that's why it's crashing. So let me show you that one. Maybe it's better I save first. One sec. The game has not crashed yet for me, despite the different truck configs I was checking out. It's like some of the truck parts don't have icons, and when a truck part doesn't have an icon, it's a bad sign. It could be a missing part, it could be just there is no icon for it, but it could crash the game in certain aspects. Thankfully not for this truck. It seems good so far. So a couple of different options in the cab here. Big space or giga space. So taller. And then you also have the edition 1 variant. I guess that's the new Actros. I think that's the one with the black grille or something. There's the low deck. 4x2 or 4x4. Interesting. I didn't see that. So there is a low deck variant. It is significantly lower. That's why I'm scared. So I'm not brave enough to try that yet. But if you do, let me know if it works. You'll probably have to remove all those bars below and the mud flaps, smaller tires and whatnot. Yeah, let me know if it works for you. 3 options on the engine. The lowest one is actually 517 horsepower. That's what I'm using right now. Couple of different options for the transmission. This one is the best for normal cargo. So it has a very high last gear ratio. You have an overdrive there. Differential ratio is not bad. So very good for normal loads.
What is this?
You had that issue at start of ATS. Light bars would have to go. Yes. How the interior looks, but you know that already. Actually, I'm curious. If you choose the non-edition 1 variant, and then you have a couple of different options here. I see. Interesting. Nice attention to detail. I can have an all black like that. But if you choose the edition 1, you only have the edition 1 interior. Makes sense. Okay. Paint job is a bit limited and it's a bit buggy. You can see it's not yet fully or correctly UV mapped here. It does come with some paints of its own, but nothing fancy. Couple of parts here. Spoiler with additions there at the end. Edition 1 variants of the logo, just more black, including the grille. Edition 1 chrome. Yeah, things like that. And also an edition 1 sun visor. Yeah, it just looks great. The lights also, edition 1 lights, very nice. Fox on the Box made a video on this. He does such amazing videos, very cinematic. And one of the scenes focused on the headlights. Looked so good, very high quality. That would explain the 20 million triangles. Fog lights, and it is compatible with the Actros tuning pack, so that's good. If you have that DLC. What else? Other noteworthy options. That's it. In the interior, you have a couple of options in here. Here you can clip on your phone. You can even have a shaver. It's compatible with cabin accessories, including sizzles. That's why we have Rex there. In this one, you can change into nothing, or make it GPS, or put in a static display. You have an option. And then maybe use this as your GPS instead. So that's a possibility. If you don't like having the GPS like stretched. Yeah. You can also get something here like coins and notes. And you have options for the steering wheel. I like the edition 1. It's very sleek. So not bad at all. I missed this one. Apparently there is a CB radio. I didn't have that. Cool. I think that's it. Looks like it has 2 hanging items. Interesting. Side skirt, it's the DLC shock thingy. Yeah, that one. The HS. So it is compatible with that as well. Quite nice. I don't normally like this DLC. It's one of the DLCs I use the least, aside from the paint job ones. But there are some specific cases where, oh, that's nice, it's compatible. Alright, PDX, have a great dinner. Thanks for the sub. Catch you on Discord. Glad you made it to the stream. Oh, and if you're not a fan of the mirror cam, you can always go back to the normal mirrors. That's also a possibility. But I think that's a shame because that's one of the highlights of this truck. Then again, maybe it's not bad. At least you still get that beautiful interior. So that's an option. Yeah, you need a separate add-on for the shock DLC to activate it. Yeah, so that's basically how it looks like. Right. Let's go and reverse. I like this. The mirror is so huge. The mirror cam actually don't need to look behind anymore. And actually, now that I think about it, since this is a mirror cam basically, you could actually put that mirror cam right beside you, right? for maneuvering. Like if you could detach that and put it near you, that would be even easier to maneuver yourself. So you don't have to look at the right at all like that. I think I'll hit the car. I should have planned this a bit better. Have a good night, Arianas. Oh yeah, very late for you. Get well soon, man. Actually had a cold as well the other day. I was getting a bit paranoid because remember I went to the embassy. So I went out of the house after 2-3 months to renew my passport. There you go. No, nothing happened. And a few days after I got a cold, so I got scared. Hope it's going well now. My cold is almost over. So hopefully it's just a normal cold. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Amias. I really like that. Although, who was it in the stream? I think he has some real life experience. Drivers are saying it's not good. So I'm guessing the camera itself, the lens, gets covered with water. And the mirror cam gets blurry or gets smudged. So I guess in practice, it could do a bit of improvement. Maybe the material of the camera lens has to be improved. Maybe, sometimes you can put certain finishes in it, right? So that the water would just slide off. Maybe they need to do something like that. By the way, there might be something different coming to the channel. I'm not yet sure. I can't commit to it, but I can give a bit of teaser. So I had an idea yesterday. So Mrs. Clumsy is here in the house, right? We are together 24/7. And I was thinking maybe I can make the most of that. So I asked her yesterday, would you like to be in a video with me? Like, as I'm doing the Q&A, maybe you can also chime in and give your answers at some points. So maybe we will see a Trucking with Mrs. Clumsy video soon, if she still is in the mood by the time I record. But yeah, she said yes at that point. We'll see if that changes. So if you have some Mrs. Clumsy specific questions, let me know. Fill out the form. There is a form you can fill out if you have questions, so I can prioritize those when I have Mrs. Clumsy with me. You can. I'm not sure if she will answer. If she is going to drive, maybe I can let her take the wheel for a second or two, but might be even clumsier than I am. Not even sure if she can drive through a roundabout. Roundabouts are not a thing in the Philippines where we drove. Woods. What the heck is happening? All the tagging going along. Yes, she can drive cars. Yes, that's true. She used to drive in ATS. When we first tried it, she enjoyed it. But by the time I got a wheel, she didn't drive anymore. So I don't think she ever drove with a steering wheel. Might be nice to let her try for a bit. How do I feel about the new SSAO graphic improvement? It's a very nice addition. But unfortunately, I don't have it enabled. It's something to do with the NVIDIA profile inspector tweaks. If you have that, you can't have the SSAO from SES. I would have loved to have both of them, but yeah, you cannot mix and match at the moment. And the tweaks are a must-have for me, so I let go of SSIO. I mean, the SSIO is nice, but I don't think it's that much worth it. Depending on your rig, it can really hurt performance. And the visual improvement is nice, although I don't think it is noticeable unless you do it side-by-side comparison of without and with. But I think what it does is it in general improves the picture, so you don't really notice that it's there, but it does improve the overall appeal of the thing. So it is nice to have, and as long as your system can handle it, it's a great addition. But yeah, as I mentioned, I had to let go of it in order to keep the NVIDIA profile inspector tweaks, which improve anti-aliasing by leaps and bounds compared to the default way of SCS doing it. Bet she wasn't looking at balloons. That's true. First episode, are you referring to that disastrous balloon in the first episode ever? Oops, my bad. I actually like this mirror cam. It's like an additional appeal. You can appreciate the view from in front and also appreciate the view from the back like that. Quite nice. The epic first Clumsy ATS episode. Oh my goodness, yes. Was I using a wheel already by that time? I can't remember now. I think I wasn't I? Or was I using an Xbox 360 controller? I remember my progression from keyboard to controller to steering wheel, but I can't remember where I was at that point in the series. A keyboard, so I really started with a keyboard. Yeah, that figures. I think I started recording as soon as I got it. Hence the crash. Yeah. So it's keyboard, then controller, then steering wheel, then track IR and steering wheel. Don't regret that decision one bit. Oh my goodness, this is such a nice view. Such a natural view. You watch those episodes. Oh my goodness. I cannot bear to watch them. I cringe when I watch my episodes. My older ones especially. Which is, they say, a good thing because it means you are improving. And other people might notice it, but as long as you do, then it's a good sign. Dashboard reminds you of Tesla Dash. Yeah, I think this is going to be the future, huh? Well, the future is here. I think it's now, everything is now digital. Do you guys think it's more cost efficient for the manufacturers to do it digitally like this? I guess so, huh? Compared to having analog parts. Not sure if it's cheaper right off the bat, but maybe it's cheaper from a maintenance point of view. I guess it's also cheaper from a manufacturing perspective. Maybe less raw materials, less things to procure and stuff like that, less logistical concerns. You just need a supplier for the tablet itself, the screen. Maybe. Speaking of Iveco, has anyone tried the Iveco Stralis sound mod from Kriechbaum? Because that's a bit different. The Iveco Stralis mod from him, the sounds are all from SCS, so all he did was remix it. When I watched the video, it was much nicer than the default sounds. Much more fluid, but it was not along the same level of quality you would have from Kriechbaum if he did the recording himself. That's at least my impression on it. Might be a bit biased. If I didn't know they were from SCS, the sounds, then I might have not noticed, or I might not have the same opinion. Oh yeah, I wonder how Kriechbaum will do when it comes to Tesla. Well, maybe he will focus on the tire sounds, tire and wind sounds. We prefer analog, but it depends person to person. I think I prefer analog too, but I would have a digital. I would like a digital component, but I don't like the entire thing to be digital. I like the analog needle, but I like having a digital speedo, for example. Look, a balloon! Oh no, this is bad. Good job. Good job, Ed. That's something I haven't done in a while. Thankfully, Mrs. Clumsy is here to pick up the slack. It's usually a battle for us. Whoever gives in first will have to clean up. This time she won. Or I won, in that matter. In the future, you'll have to pay for updates for your car. Like in the dashboard, but I guess it would make sense. I mean, you pay for maintenance anyway right now. So I guess it wouldn't be that far off to pay for software updates because it's like partly maintenance related. Oh, I knew it! Dang it! An extra tablet which has digital things. Yeah, that would be nice. If they can allocate like a specific part of the dashboard to have that tablet, I would like that too. There's something, maybe the old-fashioned guy in me, that is a bit pessimistic about having everything in digital. Like, I would think at one point it can, I don't know, get hit by an electromagnetic pulse, an EMP, like what you see in the movies, and everything would just turn off. I would like some mechanical factor to remain if possible. But maybe I'm just old-fashioned thinking in that way. Sure thing, Rohan. There is no physical light switch. It's in a sub-menu in the tachometer. Ah, interesting. So everything is that digital now. Software update. Yeah. I mean, in olden times, there was no software to update, right? Ooh, 1,000 kilometers. 1,001. 1,002. How are we doing in terms of fuel economy? Well, there is an instant fuel economy there, 2930.1. It's actually not bad. But then there is no average, so I guess we'll only know it once we finish the trip. And VT log gets us the stats. Maybe you could download more RAM too. I told you guys about that, right? Someone messaged me, someone commented in a video asking how to download a video card or something like that. How to download a video card. That's cool. Yeah, exactly, Zam. I'm not sure if they were just kidding me or if they were serious. They seemed serious though. See if I missed anything. Next will be the side panel. Sorry, I missed that, Jack. Which side panel? Oh, the farm sim side panel. Oh my goodness. Yes, that would be great. If I could find the spot for it in my table, I would have probably bought it already. It's an amazing tool to have. Although a great alternative that I'm using right now is the touch portal thing. It's so useful. For those guys who haven't seen it yet. This is like if you're familiar with the Elgato Stream Deck. Like a couple of buttons you can use for anything, from recording to hotkeys and whatnot. Oops, that one. So that's how I control my stream. Have few buttons in there, go different pages. And the great thing about it is you can use your own phone or tablet. It's compatible with Google and iOS. Sorry for my driving, multitasking here. And yeah, you can change the number of buttons, have almost limitless number of pages. And the developers are super active. Like they add features every week or even every few days. And now we got a new feature. You can now hold down the button. Before you only were tapping it multiple times. Now you can hold it down and it would serve that function repeatedly. So even more things to work with. It's nice. You have one for sale. It comes with spiders, with the web and everything. I think that's best to stay with you. The spiders have gotten attached to you already. They help with the button pushes. Sometimes though, when you push on something, it's the spider you push. And if you're unlucky, they bite back, literally. Touch portal is there. Yeah. And yeah, because what I showed you is that was an iPhone. That was the iPhone of my dad. So I'm using that as a spare device I use for touch portal. Change the subject. But yeah, it's quite nice. So I'm using it as a mixer for changing the volumes, pause, play, record. I'm also using it for truck sim. If you guys saw the one I did earlier, like I used my console and then I typed commands in the console. Yeah, that's like automatically typing things at the press of a button. It's so useful, and you can modify the appearance. So it's quite functional that way, and you can use it not only in games but also in apps. I know a couple of graphic designers, music artists use it for macros and stuff, so they don't have to remember the hotkey. They can just press it. Very smart innovation. And if you have an Elgato Stream Deck, I think that works very similarly. Only in the Elgato Stream Deck you have the benefit of actually pressing, having the physical button in there, so you really feel you press the button, so that's an advantage. But for a cheaper alternative, if you have a phone already anyway, which everyone has now these days, it's a very great alternative to have. For my streaming friends, have you guys seen that new microphone that Elgato released, the Wave? Looks very promising from the reviews. I think if ever this mic of mine gives out, I'll buy that. Because this mic, the Blue Yeti, is super bulky, as you can see. And it has I'm not sure if you notice it, but if you listen with headphones, it has that static noise in there, and it's a common sickness of the Blue Yeti, this mic. The Wave, I don't think has that, and it has a lot of other fancy features. And it's not that expensive, so it's very accessible for an entry or mid-level streamer. Doesn't require such fancy equipment. It is versatile, yeah, the touch portal app. Yes, a tablet would have been perfect. Actually, why don't I use that? Because Mrs. Clumsy has an old iPad I can use. Yeah, I think I'm just lazy. And it doesn't fit as much in the desk. My desk is almost at its capacity now, so the phone is perfect, but the tablet is bulkier. I would have liked that better though, if it would fit. More buttons, easier to press. Larger icons good for older eyes. Yeah, that's true. Let me show you. I have this special page for Explain. This is how it looks at the moment. It looks very generic, but it contains buttons for like altitude, heading adjustments and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's just, I'm not sure if you can see it, if you can read anything off of it. But yeah, that's how small the buttons get. And I can make it even smaller. So yeah, a tablet would work wonders for this kind of page. Let's see. There you go. Is there another toll gate coming up ahead? It does seem like it. Alright, AK. Thanks for subbing, man. Catch you next time. Catch you in Discord in the meantime. Seen Harris Heller do a review of the Wave. Yeah, it looks very promising. I think if it arrives here in Singapore, even if this mic is still working, I will switch. It's just that, yeah, things tend to take a few months at least to arrive in these shores. When I check the sellers here, I don't think anyone has the Wave yet. Gyros for dinner. Wow, yummers. We have a nice Greek restaurant that's near us and it does deliveries. We discovered it a couple of days ago. So good. Is it Giro or Giro? But yeah, that thing. The meat, the beef from that, oh, so good. It's seasoned perfectly. Goes well with the dressing and stuff. Now I'm hungry. Now I'm going to convince Mrs. Clumsy to order that. It is a bit pricey though, because I think it's a proper restaurant, so restaurant rates. And yeah, my budget is quite negative these days with food. That's where I spend most of my monthly budget. Last month, I almost didn't save anything. Well, that's not true. Because how I do it is I take a certain amount already at the beginning of the month, and then I spend the rest, and then whatever left there, and I put as additional savings. So that last bit of additional savings, almost nothing was left. So it's like, because everything went to food. And yeah, it's our way of keeping ourselves happy amidst the lockdown in the situation. So it's a good excuse. There's a Greek food truck few blocks from my house. That's perfect. Yeah, I would have liked a food truck better than a restaurant because it would be cheaper, and chances are it would be even tastier. I don't know. There's something about the smaller areas, the smaller establishments that I really like. Usually they have the more home-cooked feel, and for me they taste better. Often, but not always, for sure. But I got to eat, that's true. Hey Jess, welcome to the stream, how are you? Oh, I want it to rain so I can show you the nice effects from Project Next Gen. I'm just not sure if it's working. One sec, let's try it. So let me also highlight that one. So this is, I'm going to use Touch Portal here. So I can open the console. I can set the weather. So with the press of a button, G set weather is there. 1, enter. So I don't have to type things one letter at a time. Very helpful for while streaming. And now we will see the beautiful invisible wipers. It's interesting, even the sounds are non-existent. Doing good, Jess. Excited for the coming days because today is my last working day. Tomorrow is the start of my vacation until the entire next week. So I'm excited to finally get a bit of downtime. I will still be streaming and recording videos though, so that's a good way for me to relax. Yes, it is a truck mod. He called it Actros MP5 by the Actros 5 team, if I got their name right. So what I wanted to show you, yeah, this is very nice. You know how the water splashes off from the tires? Natural Lux had that effect, but it was a bit overblown at times and it was very frame heavy. Look at the water from there. And let me know if this is just the default, but I think this is Project Next Gen. I really like it. Maybe I can show you better from the truck itself. Yeah, that one. From the car. Yeah, see? You see it? I really like it. It's so subtle. It's so nice. Very real looking. Nothing overblown. And also you see the water drops on the windshield. They are smaller and they look more real because the SES default, I'm sure, is bigger. It's a bit more unnatural, more blobby. Blue Ember mic. Actually, I have not done a lot of research about mics. Maybe I should research better before I dig in, before I jump in. But yeah, I just got a bad impression of Blue with this. Well, this mic is not bad at all, but yeah, I don't like that static, and I cannot get rid of it, no matter how hard I try. Looks better from the side than from the back. Oh, you mean like this? Rather than from that? Ah, I see what you mean. Yeah, from the back there's like a fork. Yeah. I like it. The first time I saw it, I was like, wow, that's actually a very nice effect. Very nice looking one. Staying here on the right lane, because I'm a truck. That's my excuse. Guys, buy it. Thank you for following. Thank you for following, guys. Welcome to the channel, and yeah, feel free to join us in chat so we can welcome you better, greet you by name and stuff like that. More streams and longer streams? I'm not sure. Yeah, Mrs. Clumsy is still here, so I still have to align my schedule with her. It might still be the normal streaming schedule, so I don't want to hoard the airtime as much, because whenever I stream, she has to move to the other room, because normally her desk is right here, right behind me, but when I'm streaming she has to move because I'm noisy and she will be seen there, and sometimes she has calls as well. So as much as I would like to stream more, I have to respect her time too, and I cannot just hoard the entire day, so might not work. That look, so natural looking. I use banana, yes. Oh, there is a way? Okay, cool. Yeah, I use the noise gate, but it's not really going to help with the static, because when I speak, whenever I'm speaking, the noise gate would not be kicking in. But if there's a way to remove it, thanks, yes. I use the voice meter. That would be amazing, because I always get conscious with that. Whenever I listen to my own recordings, I hear that static when there's absolutely nothing happening. Like when there's the engine, when there's the music, you hardly hear it. But when there's nothing else but my voice, you would hear that static. And yeah, I don't like it to be there. I get conscious. I'm trying to see what else this dashboard includes. Ah, that's interesting. I think it includes a tachometer, because I'm seeing a 19 hours there. Does that mean I've been driving for 19 hours? So my goodness, this looks great, doesn't it? Take a screenshot of this. This might be a nice thumbnail. Maybe one more with this view. Like that. And we have a winner. An internal thumbnail for a change. You need Refair VTS plugin. Ah, I see. VST2. I see, okay. Yeah, I haven't explored that part. Thanks. Please share with me more details. I have no other plugins in Voice Meter. I don't know how to use them. I guess that would also work as a plugin directly in OBS, huh? But yeah, it makes more sense to use it in Voice Meter so that it's applicable in my other applications as well. Hey Gil, how are you? Thanks for joining and thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Yeah, the noise gate is in OBS, but yeah, Voice Meter has its own noise gate already. And I want it to be applicable in as many apps as possible, not only in OBS, just in case I use my mic for other apps, Audacity, Discord. So as much as possible, I try to stay away from OBS specific plugins. Right. Makes more sense to put it in Voice Meter instead. Ah, that's a very nice sunset sky. Beautiful. Nothing too much, nothing too vibrant, but everything is just easy on the eyes, perfect for relaxation. I would say for like long hauls, Project Next Gen is your go-to mod. Like JBX is very nice on the eyes, very vibrant, very striking. It's great for photos, but I think if you do long hauls with it, it can get your eyes tired if you're not used to the visual. Can be a bit visual overload. But I guess as the same as with everything, it just takes some getting used to. So either way, it will work for you. Did you try NVIDIA RTX Voice? No, not yet. It removes ambient noise using AI. I'm not sure if it helps with static. That's a good point. I haven't explored it yet. I heard good things about it. I think there were a couple of videos that came out recently about that. For hosting. Thanks, Gil. Might have missed that. I don't see it in my... I think, yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. You raided actually. Thank you. Appreciate the raid. Welcome to the stream, guys. Has any of you watched these NVIDIA RTX voice thing? Is it a requirement though? Maybe it requires an RTX video card, which might seem weird. I doubt that load goes to the video card. Alright, thanks for dropping by, Gil. Catch you next time. Appreciate the follow and the raid. Yeah, JVX is very good for photos. Definitely agree. Ruda has updated his Scanias. Oh yes, that's true. I was actually tempted to get the Scania T, the next gen Scania T. Maybe when Kriechbaum or EVR releases an update for their next gen Scania, I will also buy the one from John Ruda. I guess it's also high poly though, huh? If he works with the same modeler. But it's not as bad as this, even though his models are high poly, his trucks are high poly, it's not as high poly as this Actros 5. I think it comes up to 11 million, which is still 1/3 of this truck. Yeah. Nothing is as high poly as this. I was really, shocked. I think is a very much understated word for it. Almost fell off my seat, I think, is the more apt one. And I looked, I thought I was seeing an extra zero in there. I thought it was 3 million. It would be much more already than vanilla, but 30 million. Yikes. The next gen T is actually based off the SCS next gen Scania. So is that the one you're using from John Ruda? So it has the same interior. That would mean it should be well optimized, but then again the exterior is very different, so I doubt that they would use the same parts. Yeah, maybe it's different. But this comes into the gray area again. If the model is coming from SES, why is he charging for it, or charging a large amount for it? I think that might be a bit more controversial, because the other mods from him, the 3D models are done by some other person, so it's not by SES. Completely nothing is coming from SES. And so there I would understand justification for charging. But if you're reusing some parts from another developer like SES, I would expect they should get a piece of the cut. Maybe it's different. Maybe that one is not John Ruda's. But then these things are always gray areas, so very hard to chime in on those. What time is it? 9 p.m. Okay, we can sleep. Let's find a rest area along the road. I'll probably do a couple more silent trucking videos throughout the week, and also next week. There are plenty of other mods to try out. Well, not as many, but I would like to drive the MAN more. I did like that from EVR. The updated MAN TGX06 sounds from EVR. Very nice, especially the switches. The engine I think is very nice as well, but I'll have to check. So yeah, I think a good comparison is EVR versus Kriechbaum Actros. That would be an apples to apples comparison. I might do a video on that if I get my laziness out of the way. Welcome back, Ed. Because yeah, it would be nice to compare each of the stuff item by item. If maybe you guys would be interested. What do you think, for you, what would be a very nice way of comparing the two? Because the trouble with sound mods is it would be very hard to put them side by side. Like, if it were graphics, you could put them side by side and the person would be able to compare left versus right. But if you do that with sounds, you put them side by side, they would play at the same time. You won't be able to distinguish them. So it's not the same methodology. So I think you would have to do it like, this is EVR's and this is Kriechbaum's. So like right next to each other, but not at the same time. But then if I were to do that, how would it be? Like, oh, this is the parking brake sound from Kriechbaum. This is the parking brake sound from EVR. This is the blinker. This is the blinker. Or would it be like, like a more holistic approach. Like, oh, I start the truck, do the same exact sequence with EVR first, including the engine revving up, and then I do the same thing with Kriechbaum, and then you would be able to. So which approach would be more helpful for you to understand which you like better? There's a way to do a left-right stereo split. I guess technically you could like split left and right ear, but I wouldn't want to do it. Especially people would watch on their speakers, on their phones. It would be very hard to distinguish. So I don't think I would go with that approach. The next Gen T I was talking about was the John Ruda one. Yeah. I see. Yeah, because it is pricey. So I'm expecting the model is coming from him or his modeler. And everything else that comes with it. Yeah, I'm not sure I would go with that approach. That would only help the left channel and right channel if everyone was using headphones. And not everyone will. Side by side, but one at a time. My goodness. That would work great. I think for my ease of recording, I'll just group them together. Just do one sequence starting from cold and dark, testing the switches in the same sequence, and then revving up, going through the same road, so that it can be as much as apples to apples as possible. We'll see. I should sleep. Did I miss any rest areas? Pretty much everyone is using the same Blastuin Scania T. What is Blastuin? Is he the modeler? Maybe he is. Maybe they are using the same thing. Grey Mother almost came out there. That's what happens when you don't look at the map. Perfect. Oh, not perfect. Oh, perfect. No, not perfect. We'll just sleep here on the side. Grey Mother whimper. Can't dispute that. Illegal sleeping. Let's see if that guy will still be behind us. What time is good? 7 a.m. Seven hours left on the job. 5 hours left. Wow. Am I sleeping too much? I thought I would have better time than that. I actually want to try one mod. I saw a mod in the Steam Workshop. It basically doubles all the time limits on your job, which is going to be very useful if you're a guy like me who likes to sightsee. I don't want time to be the factor anymore, so I can just take my time. More worried something else is gonna come out. Yeah, that mod that doubles the time limits sounds very promising. I'm just not sure how compatible it is with other mods. It changes the economy, so I guess as long as you don't have any other economy mod, it should be okay. Yeah, sounds like a nice mod. I saw it in the Steam Workshop, but I didn't link it. Maybe I should. I think it's one of the top mods right now. You know how it is when you go to the Steam Workshop, it has that scrolling thing featuring some mods. I think it's one of those right now. If you guys see it, share it also in the Truck Sim Mods channel. for those who just joined us, feel free to join the Discord server as well. That's where I do most of my announcements, and that's where we do our internal discussions. Looks like we just crossed to... I always got confused here. Lithuania? What is LT? Is that Lithuania or Latvia? I think Lithuania. Does it interfere with VT log? It shouldn't. It shouldn't. Because VT log I don't think keeps track of remaining time. Wow. For the first time ever, Jack actually came first. I think Alex is being pretty generous given it's his birthday. That's his blowout. Lithuania, okay, thank you. I guess Latvia would be LV. They speak French here. I thought that was only in Latvia. Let's ask Rohan, he would know better. Eating cake. Nice. Oh, that's actually perfect. Yeah, I would say we will be celebrating Alex's birthday because tomorrow we ordered some cake for tomorrow. We found this seller online. They make keto friendly cakes, so it's like low sugar, or I think it uses a sugar substitute. So we ordered from them to try it out, and we were thinking of an excuse to buy it. We actually bought it already, but after the fact, that would be nice. I'll tell Mrs. Clumsy about it. We do this as we celebrate Alex's birthday, and I'll take a photo for you. I'll share it in Discord. Happy birthday, Alex. Sing it. Happy birthday. Now he'll get nightmares as well. I'll send it to you, but it will arrive maybe a month from now. Eat Jaffa cakes for you. That works. Yeah, we'll take care of the eating, and we'll just send photos. And then you can imagine how it tastes like. Now you have two versions. Someone clip that and post that as well. That's how singers do it. My goodness, how much frames? How many frames are we getting here? 38. Oh my goodness. In an area like this, we're getting 38. Look how stuttery that is. Look how much the frame times are. That chart. Yes, it comes with the sound effects. No braking. Woo-hoo. No slowing down. Trees eat frames. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. It sounds funny, but that actually is true. The trees eat a lot of frames, especially if you have custom textures, NVIDIA profile, inspector tweaks. We need 75. Oh, I would have loved to show you 144. But yeah, I'll have my day eventually when the RTX 3080 comes. I long for the day when I get 144 in Truck Sim. Even with all the tweaks. Now that's something in all the mods. Man, my throat is actually starting to ache. Might be my voice. Might be related a bit to the cold I have. I'll try to rest it. Vilnius. That's the city, right? So we should be in the beyond the Baltic Sea areas now. Yeah, I almost missed my turn. There we go. Yes, exactly, Jay. That's the perfect excuse. If you ever wanted to go shopping, guys, it's Steam sale right now, so that's perfect. Do it in Alex's name. Send them to me. You don't need them, you have all the parts already. What you need is an RTX 3080 Ti. Cake. Yeah, more trees, less frames. That's very true. Alright, enjoy the gardening, Ed. Wow, look at you getting all things done. First the bathroom, then the garden. Enjoy. Catch you next time. Yeah, I think Mirfi, who did the Europe reskin, I think he got the textures from the Baltic DLC. I think the Baltic DLC has some nice textures. Man, that purr of the engine, I think Kriechbaum is at the top of his game there. The variations of the sound as the RPM rises and the bass, I just love it. I am interested in that now. I'll try to do that as soon as I can. The comparison between EVR and Kriechbaum sounds. But for sure, more people will use Kriechbaum because it's free. For EVR, you'll have to pay for it. So it has to be significantly better for people to give it a good score. Like, I guess what I'm saying is people would put it up to higher standards, because if you have to pay for it, then you would need to get a much better quality than a free one. I guess that would be a fair assumption to make. Thanks, Alex. Increased delivery time mod. Nice. Yeah, it's a very simple concept. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. I can imagine that being a very easy thing to do. I would guess there's only like one file inside that mod that changes one of the definition files for the economy. I think I know what the problem is now. I think my map is zoomed too much in. That's the extent already. I'm not sure if it's with this GPS mod, but yeah, I cannot see so much in front. So normally I would only see that I'm actually supposed to turn right before the junction. That's why I'm making these late turns. That's my excuse. Let me try to do it one more zoomed. So that's the normal one. Let's try that one. Crap. Brake test successful. Try it one more like that. Oh, maybe we should also stop by. We should have some time for it. I should have stopped by in an... Oh, we're almost here. Okay. Well, if we're almost here, maybe I can do that. Let's do it after. If you can remind me, guys. Let's go and visit the nearest truck dealer. If you haven't seen that yet. I myself haven't seen all the companies yet, but that should have been greatly improved. The truck dealerships in this version 138 Square Junction, this one. I wonder if that's accurate. Seems very inefficient, huh? In Singapore we have a lot of those though. Not very fancy on the junctions here from what I noticed. I guess they don't need it because they control the number of cars very much, so they can just work with all these T junctions or whatnot. Not T, but four-way junctions. Oh, in the map, junction with the sharp lines. Where? Oh, this one? It's quite interesting, huh? I wonder how you turn there. You know, I wonder if that's in real life. Looks very dangerous. That's more than a 90-degree angle, like 100 degrees. Hey, thanks for following. Welcome. Hope you are enjoying, having a chill time here. Join us in chat if you're in the mood, so he can welcome you by your name. I cannot work with this map. I get too confused with which exit I have to take. I have to use this one. Yeah, I think the map is a little bit... Yeah, I think the problem with this map is it's not really stretched horizontally. It's actually zoomed in. That's why you see the numbers, the speed limit is, I think, larger than what you would expect. So I think it maintains the same proportion, but it zooms in the center of the GPS, and the end result is you see less roads because you're zoomed in. And that's why you get these turn off signs later, like 1 to 2 seconds later. And for me, that's a very important distinction. Hey Hud, glad you made it, man. How are you? Hope you're feeling better. Glad to see you made it, even on this awkward schedule. Are you excited for the holiday tomorrow? Will your parents be voting? I'm not even sure how the voting goes here. I guess there would be a lot of precincts open for voting. I think we have a couple of those here, a few blocks or a few steps down. Yeah, I think I should do that instead, Amias. Like, I can change this into like a static display, and then I can put a normal GPS right there. We tried that earlier in the truck config screen, but I didn't execute any of it. I kind of like it though, how big this GPS is. I like it. It's just not as functional because of the zoomed in factor, but I like that it's not distorted. Just finished part 1 of your Chinese exam. You have another one at 11. Ah, good luck, good luck. Well, stay safe. Hope everything goes well, and good luck to the oh, I forgot the term. The runners. I know it's not the right term. And hopefully the residents of Singapore win, whoever wins the elections. It's quite nice though, it's quite refreshing seeing all these articles in the social media channels, how the different sorry for the term, the different runners are going on campaigns. And there, I think I saw it somewhere, there was a time when the opposing parties met, and I think they made some kind of fist bump. So I like this kind of like professionalism, that even though we are on opposite sides of the parties, it doesn't prevent us from being human beings to each other. Yeah, look at that. I saw that right turn a bit late. Good thing I'm going slow. I don't actually have a side because I know nothing about the happenings. I should really read up more on it, but for me, I'm happy enough with the current government. So that's my side, but that is a side more of ignorance than really an educated opinion. Almost reached destination. Almost there. Oh yeah, we are in the city now. Cute. Pouring elephants and donkeys in the west. Wow. That sounds even more brutal than cats and dogs. First time I heard that expression. I like it actually. It's not raining here, interesting enough. But then again, that's Singapore, right? Regardless of how small it is, it still has so many different regions when it comes to rain. It is pretty dark though, but yeah, not yet raining. Maybe in an hour or two. Oh, how about your side? Now I get it. I thought side for the political thing. Yeah, no, it's not yet. It's just cloudy here. No, not yet. I have not bought it. I showed Mrs. Clumsy that one and she said I'd rather eat the cake than make it. so we didn't buy it. We might play some Overcooked though. I saw Overcooked got an update. I think there is a new summer update. Yeah, that's Alex's cake. If you ever make one. That's a nice invention. I like it. We should spread that in the interwebs. Maybe it will catch on. For those who are using TrackIR, I saw in the RawX forums, JH Trucker, brilliant guy. He's one of the guys behind the NVIDIA Profiler tweaks. And he doesn't stop there. He and Beng and Jay, they're also working on TrackIR tweaks. So if you're a TrackIR or I think even a Tobii Eye Tracker user, they made a way that you can actually zoom in like this, using only your TrackIR, so you don't need to press a button. So if you lean forward, it will zoom in like that. Like for me, I can zoom in looking forward, but it's very restricted. Like it stops there. They found a tweak that allows you to move forward a lot more, equivalent to the zoom in feature, so it's more organic. I haven't tried it yet though, because I mean I have this mic in front of me anyway, so I can't look forward that much. I would have to take the mic with me like that, and I would have to have one hand on the mic, so it doesn't help that much. But yeah, I'm sure for the others who use TrackIR or Tobii Eye Tracker, that would be amazing. Might require a bit of getting used to though. Hey Ninja Squirrel, thanks for the bits. Glad you made it to stream. Nice entrance. Hey Mike, glad you made it too. Sorry for the late reply. Pumped for the updates, but you have all these exams. Almost there, almost there. One more week. I think your end of exams will be perfect timing. Maybe Idaho will be out by then already. I don't have any insider information, but that's just my fearless forecast. Oh my goodness, that didn't come in. Okay, fine. Let's go closer. Yeah. I don't have the link, but yes, it's somewhere in the RawX forums. RawX forums are where all the hardcore stuff is at. All the hardcore tweaks. That looks good. Wow, that was fast. Alex is a master at his searching. I think there is an Alexo search engine inside his brain. Hey, Blade Runner, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for subbing, man. Appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. Make sure to also join Discord and link your account there so you get the full benefits. CQP is an option in OBS. I think if you choose NVINC as the encoder, you have an option of choosing the bitrate. You can choose a static bitrate, or you can use that CQP, which is like a dynamic bitrate, and depending on the number, it defines the quality. If it's lossless, so that determines the file size and video quality. I know Jay, I think, is using a very low number in the CQP, so that amounts to a very high quality, almost lossless. For me, I'm using 25, so it's a bit like high quality, but not very big file size, not this lossless. So I'm somewhere in the middle, I guess you could say. Alright, so with that done, I would like to make our way back to Kaunas. I don't think it will be a thing, so we'll just drive there on our own. Can anyone check my stats for the drive? How did we do in fuel economy? Let's see how efficient this guy is. Let's go through that roundabout. Go through that dealer. Let's go through a different road here for a change. Let's take that one. 15, there you go, for 1080. No, that's the same. Lower file size you get with lower quality. 38? Oh, it's not very good. Iveco does a better job than this. I'm disappointed. And we even have the aerodynamic trailer and everything. See, Jack? It's not Craft Veco. It's E-Veco. E for economy. Although I think the MAN TGX06 is a real contender. The silent trucking job I did, I think I got 31 liters there. So I'm looking forward to driving more with that. We can craft back. We can change trucks in a bit after I go to the dealer and see how that is. Nothing wrong with the Iveco, just in Jack's books. You know what? Let's go and try something else. Let's stay with the same truck, but let's try EVR sounds. So I guess you guys have the sounds well enough in your mind. I'll do a more formal video on this, but for now, you guys get the early access. You could say, oh crap. So I left the game, I ran it again, and then I got this update. Apparently the game updated, or one of the mods got updated, I guess, in the process. I hope it didn't reset my position, but at least the job is done already, so it shouldn't be that bad. So what we do here is we change the truck itself. In my opinion, they should have just kept the truck the same and made a different definitions file for the sound, the engine, which is editable, so that you can change it to whichever sound you like. But what they did is they actually have the complete truck separate here. So this is like, this file is 700 MB, this file is another 700 MB. So very clunky, but I mean 700 MB is not really a big thing nowadays, but for me I would have preferred the same base, just a different definition. But maybe that would confuse people more, so I guess I can also understand where they're coming from. And then what we do is we remove the sounds from Kriechbaum. I think I removed a different one. Whoops. And instead we get EVR sounds, which is not here. What the heck? No, it's here. It's just not new. SFX. There you go. 1842 E6. Yeah, July 4. Yes, that's the new one. Right there. Where did I place it before? Above sound fixes, I think. To be on the safe side. Hey, thank you guys. So many new people. Thank you for joining. Did we get raided? No, it's there. Hey, Miguel. Hey, Mr. Puzzle, Notorious, and Bunzilla. Thank you for joining. Hey, WTC. Reminds me of that thing that happened yesterday. Hope it's not the same today. Okay. We will see in a bit. And I think I'd want a refill of my water. One sec. Tequila incoming. Let's load it up. Also, one feature that I really like in 138 is that thing where you... That's the one I accidentally removed, the Volvo FH sound from Kriechbaum. So I like the new update they have, that when the navigation data is getting recalculated in the loading screen, they actually say it now. You don't have to guess anymore why it's taking so long. So now you know that it's not doing a recalculation. Okay, truck is still there. Truck is intact. Error-wise, I don't see any major issue. I think that looks good. Okay, good. So hopefully we get EVR sounds now. Let me stop the music. You can listen to it from outside maybe. That is super crisp. EVR crispness. It's best. Change the gear. Same clunky, but very crisp. Oh, I like that. Parking brake. I like. I have some first impressions already, but I'll give it some time. Lights. Any first impressions, guys? What do you think? I'll let you chime in first before I give my comments and maybe influence some people. I know, right? Maybe I should make it on my own. Alright, maybe that's like closest thing would be silent trucking already. Opinions? I'm sure Rohan has one. The gear grunts are usually not noticeable while driving, so it's too loud. Change it to ASMR trucking. Actually, that's true. Maybe we should rename it to ASMR trucking, because some people are complaining about silent trucking, and when they hear it, it's like it's not silent. I'm not sure if people are... I guess people would be more familiar with it by now. The ASMR term. And if they don't, then they can always ask. But maybe it won't be misleading anymore, huh? Because initially I think I went away from that description or that title because ASMR might not be a very commonly known word. Maybe I can ask here with this bunch. Are you guys familiar what ASMR is? You don't need to know the exact letters or the exact words behind them, but do you know what it means in general? Sounds like a slot machine. The gear changing. Kriechbaum's is better, more accurate. Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't miss it. I didn't catch it. Cooling off day, 1 day before the election. Ah, people aren't allowed to publicly post political opinions technically. I see. That's a good rule. No campaigning. Ticking sound is too loud. There you go, Alexa at work. Have a good one, Cold. Catch you next time. Thanks for being here. So, everyone knows ASMR? That's cool. I'll probably rename the future videos then. Today is a very cooling day. That's actually very true. It's an apt description. So yeah, I think for myself, I like Kriechbaum's better generally, especially the engine sound. But the switches, I definitely like the switches better from EVR. And the engine start sound, super crisp. I think EVR sounds are more crisp, but Kriechbaum's is better balanced overall. In the Actros at least. That's very true. That's the best we can hope for, HUD. 25 is as cold as it gets. What is the coldest we've gotten? 24? 23? I think that only happened once in 5 years or something like that. Don't quote me on stats, but yeah, something extreme. How hot is it there right now, Alex? Drove a few MP4s back when you were still trucking. Well, the gear pig runs are only noticeable when you are still standing. Ah, I see. So the weird sound for shifting. Switch and gear change sound. Compared to the engine, it's a bit too loud. Yeah, I think you, Jay and Lucy are on the same page on this. And I think I agree. 32 to 33, yikes. Yikes. Stay away. 18 or 19? Goodness. But I think that was more a blip in the radar, huh? An outlier. Like if you were getting stats, you probably would exclude that temperature. Repeats answer in your head many times to clean it up for family friendly. Those gear changes sound like creaky boots. Clean complete. Okay, let's go back to Kriechbaum's. Let's try. I actually thought that the battle would be closer than this. But maybe the mixing needs a bit of improvement. I like the MANTJX sounds from EVR. I really liked it. But yeah, this one from Actros, I think hands down I like Kriechbaum's better. Hit the invisible wall. I almost did. I almost did. You guys might have seen it. Yeah. So first we change the truck. And then we change the sound. So the OM471. I also like Kriechbaum's approach that he has a separate air brakes and gear sound mod, because I don't know why SES did it. This sound for air brakes and air gear shifting, it is universal. So all trucks have the same sound if you apply it to one. So Kriechbaum does this so you can remove this when you're switching to a different truck. With EVRs, it's the same here, so you would have to remove the entire thing like that. Because this, the air gear and shifting, that's inside this already. Okay, I think that's good. Alright, Hud, good luck. Catch you. We'll see when. Catch you soon. Catch you on Discord. Thanks, Hud. Appreciate it. Will do. You might hear her soon, depending on how she feels like when it's time to record. We'll see. Alright, let's go and hear it. Don't know how the air brake button sounds with the MP4 or 0.5, but the Kriechbaum sounds are on point for the most important part, driving. So here, let's go and hear Kriechbaum sounds. I mean, for me, that's not bad, but that's nowhere as crisp as EVR sounds were. This is the shifting. Not as noisy. And we are at standstill, so it's good that we can hear it. Brakes. Here, inside. Actually, the blinkers are louder here. Wipers. Non-existent. Hey, buddy. Is that the greeting for oh, sorry if I'm missing it. For Muslim countries? It's very quiet compared to the EVRs. Much more refined. And you can barely hear the changing gears, I think. Engine brake is also very different. EVR's engine brake has that like spooling thing. Like this one is just the engine itself. You're from Turkey. Good. What time is it there? Good day. Thanks for joining. Very good. Assalamualaikum. Isn't it that one? I thought it was spelled differently, but I think it sounds like that, right? The gear changes are still too loud, but it's much more bearable than the EVR sounds. EVR sounds very idle. Yeah, I think you've had that general feedback on EVR sounds, even with the other trucks, right? That they sound like they're an idle. Of course, I cannot distinguish them. But I like the EVR sounds in general, although in this battle specifically, I think Kriechbaum takes the cake, if I were being very objective about it. Turn on the lights. Good point. 5:45 a.m. Nice. Yeah, I think holistically, Kriechbaum's just works better. But this will be a good video. Good head-to-head video. Maybe others will disagree. Maybe others will like EVRs. Kriechbaum sounds are less crisp in my opinion, but yeah, overall they I think work better. Cake? Where? Goodness. Where are we headed anyway? I have no idea. I forgot already. Cake foam? Oh my goodness, I like that. Yeah, still for 138 beta. Both the sounds don't work in 137. They have made their sounds in 138. And because 138 has a new F-mod version, it's not backward compatible. So if you go back to 137, you won't hear the sounds at all. And if you go to the log, you'll see errors like something Fmod something bank has incorrect version for all the sounds. Let's open the windows. It's actually a very loud wind. Didn't get as much as I wanted there. Too loud. Whoops. Alright. Right, bye. Have a good day. Thanks for dropping by. Trying to call someone with that sound. Sorry. I saw the OBS sound level speaking out. It wasn't that loud in on my side though. Became deaf for a second. Who can we blame? Blame drive safely. That's his wind sound. Okay, how about that one? It's not peeking out anymore. Loud even for that. The microphone of the onboard phone thing is where the card reader is. Where? Which one? The microphone of the onboard phone thing is where the card reader is. Where is the card reader? Oh, that's loud. So I think interestingly enough, the engine sound is very different from each other, huh? Like it's from a different engine altogether. And is it? Not so sure. Above your windscreen. This one? Ah, this one here. So the mic is there. Cool. Let me hoard both lanes in the roundabout. Otherwise, this blue car will try to sneak in. .25 right now. Blowing from the west. 7 miles per hour. Humidity is at 91%. Yummers. Yeah. Sounds about right. Yeah, I think that's the normal thing here. I don't even know what a non-humid place is like. Is it arid? Opposite? Pretty much used to humid weather. Don't like it, but I'm used to it. Oh, it's a small Renault dealer. But I think even this one is different looking now. Isn't it? Yeah, I think even this changed. Unhuman place is comfortable. It's like walking through a cloud. Welcome to our daily life. Oh, HUD isn't here anymore. Yeah. But yes, that's the way it is. I wonder what the feels like is. Because there's like a feels like meter, right? Like compared with the, how do you say? Let's play the music again. Compared with the actual temperature, but depending on the wind and humidity, the feels like is different. Crap, it's already 10:53. Goodness, that's went by so fast. Well, maybe we can explore the nearby areas. Go through checkpoints to the end. Get through there as far as we can. Yeah. This is why I don't like hiking in Singapore. I really enjoyed hiking when we were in Switzerland and it was autumn. But we tried doing the same in Singapore and quickly backed out because, I mean, spending your time outside for 5 minutes is torture enough. Like spending hours and hours hiking. No, thank you. Time flies when you're hanging out with the cool dudes. What? Where? Time to try TBS after the stream. Good luck. Enjoy the photo mode. TBS now has a photo mode and it's amazing. You can change so many things in there. Angles, field of view, resolution, even the colors, and the time of day. You can change the time of day. That is something I really hope for in ETS. Like it comes built in, like there's a slider where you can change the time, take a photo, and when you go out of photo mode, the time goes back to what it is. It's a very brilliant implementation. Keep up, Rohan. Oh, an actual acronym for him, huh? Hey, Joe. It is an FPS hitter. It's like driving 20 trucks at the same time. But if your system can handle it, then all's good. But you'll have to try it. Your mileage will vary for sure. But just basing on the triangle count, it's 20 million triangles in this truck compared to less than 1 million in the SCS version. So yeah, it's like driving more than 20 trucks at the same time in terms of frame rate. That being said, it is definitely a looker. Such good interiors. Interior and exterior models, amazing. Might spam Discord with pics. Quick, Alex, ban him. If you have 75, it will definitely run. 100 trucks more likely. For the new Actros, we checked the numbers earlier. It was like 700, 800,000 triangles for the SCS New Actros. So that's as close comparison as we can do. And then it was 20 million, 20.9 million for this. So it's like almost 21 times more. Yes, and 33 million from the inside. So I don't know how much it was in the SCS terms. I'm guessing around 1.5 to 2 million. So maybe like 15. No, of course I'm getting my math wrong. But I think 20 times more is a valid estimate. I think it will be your GPU that is mainly going to suffer. CPU maybe not as much. But my GPU is getting maxed out. Yeah, the entire stream it's maxing out. Actually, my browser has failed on me first few minutes of the stream. So I've been seeing a black screen all throughout. It's supposedly showing me what the stream looks like. Yeah, make a separate role for Rohan. Just remove keep all the stuff there except the posting of images. Yeah, well, the modeler of the truck probably wasn't modeling it for games. That's usually the main problem. There are a lot of talented modelers out there who only worry about the details, because I mean, if you are able to render it like for stills, then that's great. The more details there are, the better. But then when it comes to gaming, there's a completely different factor that comes in. It has to be optimized, and usually the 3D modelers aren't really modeling it for the sake of gaming. It's just that the mod authors are using those models. We don't have many XBSs around, unfortunately. XBS, I think, is the #1 modeler out there who makes such amazing models and such optimized models that sometimes they're even more optimized than SES's version. So, yeah. We need more XBSs in the world. Yeah, I think this is the heaviest, that's true. This is the heaviest I've seen. Even a CAD model for current gen Toyota Camry from Toyota with everything modeled out is at 16 million triangles, if you remember correctly. Well, this is a truck, so maybe it's bigger. I don't know. Yeah. It's very heavy. I'm not sure where it goes. Maybe even the engine inside is modeled in. Maybe if we zoom in, if we fly through it, maybe we'll see the engine's innards. Well, let's try that actually. So we're ending the stream here now. Let's go and park up on this bus stop. And let's check how that looks. I hope there's no invisible wall, but I feel like there is. XBS, Harvey, and Overfloater. Oh yes, definitely. Yeah, invisible wall indeed. So let's just stop here. And let's look at this truck's innards. What's causing all that frame drops? All those frame drops. Well, the engine isn't here. I would have expected that this number of triangles, the engine would have been here too, but it's all still empty. But yeah, look at the lights. Look at high quality that is, even at this close. Super high quality. That figures. The new Grand Utopia map will have 9 new towns. Oh, that's amazing. Finally, time to go back to that amazingly beautiful map. XBS, Vadik, Carvin, and Overfloater. Yeah. Right. So, let's leave it there, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me even on this awkward schedule. Appreciate the effort. Thanks for making the time. Happy birthday again, Alex. Cake tomorrow will be for you. Have a good day. Have a great weekend. I will not be streaming tomorrow, but I'm hoping I can keep the trend of making videos every day. We'll see though. If I get lazy, it might stop. Hopefully not. Thanks. Have a great weekend and catch you guys on Discord. Exclamation point Discord if you're not there yet. Let's turn off the truck here. Have a good day in Clumsy Trucking. Bye-bye. Thanks everyone.